Today's episode of the More You Know podcast is brought to you by CrowdQuestion, a brand new social communication platform focused on connecting crowds to bring everyone closer to their community, as well as enhancing any occasion. Rather than being a social media platform focused on content and advertising, they're focused on communication and connection. Learn more about the platform and download the app free at crowdquestion.com.
I'm just trying to make it all make sense.
Today's
More
You
No
podcast.
Today I want to go through the cycle of fear and scarcity as well as the cycle of hope and improvement that are shared in the book How Great Decisions Get Made by Don Maruska. As I've clearly discussed previously on the podcast, you're either driven by scarcity or abundance, meaning you either have a scarcity mindset or an abundance mindset, looking at the world with a glass half empty or a glass half full. The mentality and way of life in which you live, whether it be with scarcity or abundance, dictates your life through a repeated cycle. The cycle of fear and scarcity will continue to get in the way of progress and accomplishment, and the cycle of hope and improvement provides continual fulfillment, happiness, joy, and success. So it's clear which cycle you want to continually live in, and I now want to make this clear by going through each cycle, starting with the cycle of fear and scarcity. The cycle of fear and scarcity begins with the perception of scarcity. The perception of scarcity then creates fears, and these fears create ego-driven control mechanisms, which culminate into win-lose dynamics, meaning you look at everything as you either win or you lose. Because you look at the world this way, you then receive lose-lose results that create real scarcity, which then starts the cycle over again with the perception of scarcity. As you can see with this cycle, fears clearly get in the way of your pursuits, and life as a whole. And there's 4 ways that the system of fear and scarcity, as well as fear as a whole, plagues you. The first is with negative thoughts, believing what you want is scarce. The second is troubled feelings, feeling that there won't be enough to go around and that you can never get enough. The system also creates disruptive behavior, meaning the system makes you abrupt, short-tempered, and self-protective. And finally, the system plagues you by fraying relationships. This can be by becoming suspicious of one another, or just where cooperation overall declines. And with this being said, I now want to go through the cycle of hope and improvement, and this is a cycle you clearly want to live out. The cycle begins with the potential for improvement, which creates shared hopes, and these shared hopes create cooperative practices, which in result culminate win-win dynamics, creating win-win results. And these win-win results finally create real improvement, which again drives the potential for improvement. With this system, hope stimulates you in a multitude of ways. It creates positive thoughts, as well as upbeat feelings, such as energy and confidence. It also stimulates affirmative behaviors, meaning that you become willing to listen, have more patience, more confidence, and are alert to new ideas and opportunities. Along with that, hope also stimulates constructive relationships. Hope also draws on the aspirations and interests of everyone involved. And lastly, hope stimulates motivation. In life, you either have a scarcity mindset or an abundance mindset. You either look at life with the glass half empty or the glass half full. And each of these outlooks puts you down a cycle that dictates your actions in life, and ultimately the results that you get in life. Because of this, you should strive to have an abundance mindset, looking at the world with a glass half full, which puts you down the cycle of hope and inspiration. By doing so, you'll find higher levels of fulfillment and achievement, which will assist in making a tremendous impact in this world, and crafting a life of significance.
I'm just trying to make it all make sense.
Today's
More
You
No
podcast.